Hey, it's Brad Hurlock with the Garage Grit podcast and AA Shop Marketing, where we help independent shops get found, get calls, and turning those calls into customers. Let's start with what's coming up. We're locking in a new shop owner panel that's going to hit home for a lot of you. Local politics. Yeah, I know. Usually in the world of business, you don't want to talk about religion. You don't want to talk about politics, right? But kind of like the third rail of business is to talk about those things. But nonetheless, we're going to be jumping on it because it matters. It matters for the everyday ongoing operations of your shop, the expansion of your shop, and so on. So we're going to be talking about it the next panel. And I'm not going to be talking about, election signs or who I'm going to be voting for or zoning battles or surprise inspections. I'm sorry. We are going to be talking about zoning battles, surprise inspections, sign limits, signage limitations, parking regulations, and you just being aware of what's going on in your area and making sure that you are voting at this election season for common sense and pro-business type or pro-small business type attitudes. That way, when it's time for you to grow, you have that ability, that option if you want to. And every shop that's ever added a bay or expanded their lot or has moved buildings has run into this at least once. And you think you're ready to take on that next step, and then suddenly the city or the county or whatever your local municipality is steps in with, no, here are the new regs, here are the new costs, and here's the red tape. And so that's what we're going to be tackling about. We're going to be bringing those owners who've kind of battled through it or maybe are still battling through it, going toe to toe with those local ordinances and how they're managing through it, what their experience has been. Maybe they'll have won, maybe they'll have lost. You'll have to tune in to find out. Now, if you missed our last SOP, or last shop owner panel, then check out episode 37. We talked about credit card fees, dual pricing. We got to hear from 3 different shop owners and their experiences on this topic and their perspectives on these topics. And, we're talking about trying to protect those margins. The following episode 38, I had the opportunity to dig a little bit deeper with Rob and David from Fiserv and Card Connect. They have relationships with those organizations, and they kind of walked through the vendor side of things. And, what was kind of eye-opening was we always focus on the rate, passing along the rate. But compliance is an issue, right? And making sure that you're partnered with a merchant service provider who actually can kind of walk you through what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, and how you're allowed to position it and how you're not allowed to position it, right? Because there's a difference supposedly between dual pricing and passing along the surcharge and cash discounting. It all comes down to what you're allowed to do in your particular state and how you present that information. Between those 2 panels, there's a lot of people who are now aware of where their money is leaking out every single month, and whether or not they're in compliance. So that's worthwhile. Those episodes 37 and 38 are worth checking out. Now, if you've been following along with the Garage Grit podcast, you know that in panel 16, we actually interviewed Tyson Fisher and Bill. Tyson's from Star Import Service of Gainesville in Florida. He was a part of that panel back in on episode 16. And we were rethinking or reimagining profit. I think that was the actual title. And we talked about sharpening systems and setting standards for specialty repair. Well, he's back for a full Origin and Impact series feature, and you're going to hear exactly what his evolution looks like. He's going to be able to share his story, and I believe that episode dropped this morning. And we're also stepping up production on this season. We're going to be dropping 2 Origin and Impact series episodes every single week. Why? Because more stories, more owners, that means more lessons that you can actually listen to, appreciate, and apply. And so if you're watching the replay of this GGP Live 30, or if you're watching the Garage Grit podcast, hit subscribe, hit notify, do what you have to do so that you don't miss what's coming. While you're here, drop your name in the shop name and your city in the chat. And I'm kind of curious, what's your biggest pain point right now? What's hitting you the most? Or let's just pick 2 different options. Are fees, like credit card processing fees, or are the political climate are what hitting you the most? You tell me. Post that in the chat. All right. And if you didn't catch it already, and this is your first time watching, I'm Brad Hurlock, host of the Garage Grit podcast. And now we're going to get to the good stuff. All right. Episode 40, Tyson Fisher of Star Import Service in Gainesville, Florida. He runs a Mercedes and Sprinter specialty shop. That's a pretty dialed in market. He's not the kind of guy that's trying to be everything to everyone. His whole operation is built around that clarity. One thing that stood out, everything before 1998 is a classic, he said, which I guess makes me a classic by more than a couple decades. And everything after that is modern. The one thing that defines how he runs, that one line defines how he runs his business. It's not just about cars. It's about boundaries. That mindset shapes how or what work he takes and how he trains his team and how he markets his shop. Now, in this episode, Tyson shares how he walked away from cloud-based management systems, and he actually put together his own in-house platform for shop management. It wasn't easy, a lot of headaches, but it gave him the type of control that he was looking for. And before we actually refer to him as a control freak, that's not nice. It's not PC. I prefer, and I can relate, and I prefer to be called a control enthusiast. All right, let's keep that out there. All right. So anyway, no outages, no waiting for tech support or dialing in and waiting for 40 minutes for someone to get back to you. It's his process, his data, his rules, and it's how he likes it. We dug deep into pricing transparency. We talked about communication. We talked about DVIs with photos, clear breakdowns, a simple philosophy. Don't hide the complexity, explain it. If you want to teach customers why something costs, it does, then earn the trust. Eliminate the arguments. That trust keeps coming back, right? And when it comes to marketing, we're always talking about and as you probably know, I'm not a coach, right? I'm a digital marketing guy. And when it comes to marketing shops, it's all about building that trust right from the get-go. But it doesn't stop with the marketing. It's got to continue with your conversations with the customer. You're constantly building that trust. The greater the trust, the longer the lifelong customer you will have. All right. And so his focus on metrics was also just as sharp. He's tracking technician efficiency, comeback rates, job profitability, and constantly improving without burning out his people. And quite frankly, that's how you scale without the chaos. If your shop is a mix of a body and mechanical shop, or if you're trying to run a family operation that's trying to modernize, Tyson's story is one to kind of pay attention to. It's a balance between specialized and staying sustainable. So you can watch the full episode. I won't go into any more detail than that. You can watch the full episode for yourself. Episode 40, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. The links are in the description. But now I've got a question for you. Are you running a niche repair shop, or are you more of a general repair shop? What's your strengths? What's your goal? Maybe you're running a niche, but you've been taking on general other cars just to kind of fill different gaps in your schedule. And that to me sounds like you've got a marketing problem or a marketing challenge. And let's actually clear up that clarity. You can go out to AA Shop Marketing to find out your next step, but let's do this instead. All right. Go grab your free or full marketing analysis at addi.me/jumpstart. That's addi.me/jumpstart. addi.me/jumpstart. And those that you don't know, AA Shop Marketing stands for Addison Auto Shop Marketing. It's the fastest way to see what's wrong. We'll tell you and what you can fix first. We're trying to help as many shops as possible. Feel free to accept our help. Speaking of helping, let's run a marketing health check on your shop. All right. And let's actually talk about this, whether you're a combo shop, we're doing collision and mechanical repair, or whether you're a family-owned shop, or even just any independent shop. You're going to actually take a close look with your local service ads. And if you don't know what that is, or if you're not using those, then you also need to reach out to me. Again, I'm Brad from AA Shop Marketing. Local service ads is something that you need to be doing. And go check those out. If you're already running it, pull 5 random calls from the last week. All right. And when you on the front end, when you get with the calls I'm talking about, you're going to hear this is a Google call. All right. Now you need to go back into your console and then listen to each of those random 5. And I'm curious, were those 5 about the right services? Were they potential customers that you could actually help? This is the biggest one, did you actually convert them? Because the answers to the first two are probably yes. But did you convert them? Because if you didn't, then your problem might not be marketing. It might be how the call is being handled. So next, after that, let's check your review flow. Your next marketing tip from me is to check your review flow. Go to your Google business profile, sort the reviews by the newest, and start writing down the dates of the last 15 reviews. Are you seeing a steady stream? Are you seeing highs and lows? Are you seeing them kind of bursts, or maybe just once a month or once a quarter? If you've got gaps in your system for collecting reviews, if you do have those gaps or in those bursts and whatnot, then you've got gaps in your system for collecting reviews. There you go. Set up a process so that you are making sure that you are getting a review consistently, 1, 2, or 3, depending on how big your shop is, per week. Next, my next marketing tip is to take a culture check. Now, that doesn't sound like marketing at all, but it is. Walk around your shop, look at your team, check out your workflow, look at your energy, and then go online and compare your website and your social media presence. Does it look and feel like the same place? Because if it doesn't, that disconnect is potentially hurting you. Customers want to see the shop. They want to see the people. That's what builds the trust. If they want to see the shop that they're actually about to walk into and the people that they're about to greet when they walk in the door. They don't want to see the stock photos or the generic posts. They want to see you. All right. Now, if they don't want to see you, then that's a whole different problem. And you should probably address that with a coach. All right. So check your LSA calls, check your reviews, check your culture, and compare it to your online presence. Are you being real? Are you being authentic? And if you want a full detailed analysis of your marketing data, not guesswork, if you don't want to have to be the one to figure all this out, okay, we'll do it. Go to addi.me/jumpstart, addi.me/jumpstart. And then we're going to show you exactly where you need to tighten up. But I'm curious, if you're listening to this live, what areas do you need the most help with? What's your gut? Before you do those checks, what's your gut? Is it going to be calls? Is it going to be reviews? Is it going to be culture? Drop it in the chat and then follow up after you've done those reviews and let me know whether or not you were right. Okay, let's wrap this up. Today we talked about what's coming on the shop owner panel next, which is local politics, right? And growth barriers. We revisited the lessons from the credit card fee management in episodes 37 and 38. We reviewed Tyson Fisher's origin and impact story from Star Import Service. We walked through a marketing health check. And just remember, I'm trying to help shops with all of this content, these podcasts, these live episodes. But please don't confuse me to be a coach. I'm not a coach. I'm a digital marketing guy. My job is to help you turn attention into customers, from clicks to calls. And from calls to customers, and customers into loyalty is going to be on your end to some extent. But if you want to know no fluff, an honest assessment of how your shop is doing online, then as I may have already mentioned, addi.me/jumpstart, ADDIME/jumpstart. If you want to join the next Garage Grit panel and share your experience and be your own origin and impact story, then you can go to addi.me/join panel, ADDI.me/join panel. All right, before we go, last but not least, please drop your biggest takeaway from today's live in the chat. Tell me what topic you want to hire. I gave it away, didn't I? Tell us what topic you want to tackle next. Maybe hiring, maybe ADOS, maybe lead flow. Let's grow stronger together.